Final story, and this one, by the way, hits close to home, as both of us live in New Jersey.
Yes, it does.
This was another good Bloomberg column, basically saying New Jersey just had a week from hell, okay? Extreme heat, train delays, power outages, and the columnist's broader point was, guess what? Guess what? It's a preview of what's coming for all of us. Because, he says, there have always been heat waves, thunderstorms, power failures, and floods, he points out in this column, but climate change has been a steroid injection for such disasters, making them stronger and more damaging. In other words, it's coming for you no matter where you're at.
I've got two thoughts on this.
Yeah.
The first, on a very serious note, we have not taken the problem of climate change seriously enough from an infrastructure standpoint. Even if you are not a fan of the more extreme theories on climate change, the planet's warming up. Weather is getting more volatile and intense. There are more major storms and natural disaster events. This is well documented over the last 20 years. There's irrefutable science on this. We have not invested in New York, in New Jersey, in the US, really globally. Europeans don't even have air conditioning. We have not invested in the fact that the world is changing. And if you want people to survive and be okay and be able to go to work in pants, you have to figure this out. We cannot be on a train system where the AC is not running, where things are breaking down because they can't take the heat, because the story mentions wires are sagging down on top of the trains and stopping them from moving.
Okay, on that point, and by the way, I was on one of those trains.
Yes, you were.
It literally took 5 hours approximately to get from Hoboken, New Jersey to my home in Chatham. Yep. I basically could have flown to California.
Do you know, I showed 10 people that Slack message outside of this office.
Were they outraged?
They were outraged.
Yeah.
We were all outraged.
And probably some of them were laughing. But here's a question. Here's just a pushback for sake of argument.
Yeah.
How much of this is a climate story versus how much is like basic government competence and preparedness and I don't know, maybe some simple infrastructure maintenance? I mean, how much is on a state like New Jersey's politicians and lawmakers?
I think there's a good bit of that, because why have we not, even climate change aside, why is the city, the state, the country running on infrastructure that was built in the 50s or built in the 70s when the technology has rushed forward? And I'll tell you where we're going to get the next front of this. If the AI data boom has proved anything, it's proven that the US power grid was not equipped for the moment, because that power grid was built 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And as of the last 20 years, power demand remained stagnant in this country. We assumed it was going to stay stagnant. And so there was never new investment. And now that we need that investment, now that we need that infrastructure, we don't have it. The same thing's going to happen with climate. We're getting a preview of it in New Jersey, but look abroad. Look at the heat wave France just had. Look at conditions in parts of India. Look at conditions really throughout Asia, Southeast Asia. The planet is warming. We have to get behind that. And the government has to figure out how to do simple things. We have to get the simple things right. You don't need to be investing trillions of dollars in new infrastructure if you can't keep the existing infrastructure working. And some of that is basic municipal budget. Figure out where to put the money to do what needs to be done.
Well, the good news for guys like us who live in New Jersey, at least taxes are low. That's something you can really hang your hat on. I think that's the parting message.
Yeah, you know what, Florida? Bad heat. No taxes.
Yeah, no, I tell
Texas.
I'm telling you. Jake Connolly, thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Josh.
it.